Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. Hi, my name is Carly Bell, and I love all things machine embroidery. And today I am doing something really fun, and it's kind of a first for me. So I'm so excited to share it with you. So really quickly, just want to say hi to the people in the chat. I see Wendy and Sherry and my other Sherry and Carolyn and Eileen and let's see, Natalie or Natalia. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but hi, I hope y'all are all doing great today. So today's live is exciting. It's going to be a fun project, an in the hoop project. But what is special about it, it's the first time I'm doing a collaboration with a designer friend of mine, and she's going to join us today here for the live. And I'm so excited to introduce to y'all my friend Melissa from Designs by Little B. So everyone tell Melissa, hi. I gotta click the right button. There we go. Hi.
You did it. Hey.
I'm so excited
Hello.
that you're here. And I know all of our followers are excited. We have tons of your fans already in my group. And then I'm sure we have some of your customers that are here as well. So what do you call your people, your group? Is it your
The
hive?
hive.
The hive,
Yes.
yeah.
The hive. It just makes sense.
Yes, it does. It does. I love it. So if y'all don't know Melissa, she is the owner and designer behind Designs by Little B, which is a fabulous machine embroidery shop where you can buy designs. I would say most of her designs are in the hoop designs, which are my favorite. I love in the hoop designs because for so many reasons. I mean, like I got into embroidery specifically to personalize and to add names to clothing and items and things like that. I had no idea what in the hoop projects were when I first got into embroidery. And then someone brought a snap tab to my attention and my mind was blown. And I found Melissa shortly after that. And I love everything on her site. And we are going to be making one of her designs today. So very
And
excited.
it's a favorite one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Melissa, just to learn a little bit more about you. So how long have you been doing this? How old is Designs by Little B?
Just over 10 years. We had our 10-year anniversary in November of last year. And my digitizing anniversary actually coincides with Embrilliant's Stitch Artist's anniversary. They
Wow.
released their digitizing software on Black Friday in 2014, and I bought it that day. And I didn't start digitizing and selling my designs for maybe 6 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But
but
yeah.
it's been 10 years.
Wow. That's amazing. Amazing. Well, congrats to you for on your 10-year anniversary. That's so
Thank
cool.
you.
So the design we are going to be making today is an in the hoop zippered ID case. So if everybody can see that. And I love this because y'all see my little mini design. Let me make it bigger so you can see. You see the little mini head. Focus, focus, focus. Why do you not focus? My camera doesn't like me. There we go. It's all the Mickey ears or mini ears fabric. That is actually on the inside of the zippered pocket because the front is vinyl and clear. So you can put your license, your school ID, work ID, whatever the case may be, something you want to see through here. And then there's a pocket behind it where you could store all the rest of your stuff that you don't want to be visible through the front. So that is what we're making today. It is the zippered wallet ID case or zipper ID wallet. I think that's what it's called. Um,
Mhm.
and the really special thing about today's project is Melissa has kits for us. So Melissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about what do you have left?
Oh, I have a bunch left. I only ran out of like one print. So a couple of weeks ago, when I first released this design, I thought to myself, as with anything else, embarking on a new project like this, it includes, if I can show mine, I took my ID out. Sorry, can't show you where I live, but here is mine. So here's the front part that's vinyl, and then behind it, you have a spot for your cash or cards. And this is what the back looks like. And I made a whole key. This is my usual thing. I'm very extra. I made a whole bunch of key fobs to match mine. But so when I first made this project, it struck me because I try to think about my customers first, and I think about the fact that you need this 12 gauge clear vinyl, you need a zipper. Some people want to use a size 5 zipper, which is the size that I've used in mine, this chunkier zipper, super cute. But then you have to be like, well, where do I get a size 5 zipper? And you might have to buy 1,000 of them on the internet. And the hardware, the piece of hardware that's attached to it, you can use a piece of ribbon or elastic to hang your fob off of. That's a lot of things. And I know from experience, I've been doing this 10 years, so to me, things just come naturally. But when I'm thinking about a brand new project that I've never made before, I'm thinking like, these people are going to have to like order $100 of stuff off the internet to make this one project. And if you're like me, you want to get your hands on something and make it first and decide, okay, I'm really into that. Now I'll invest in all the doodads. And so it occurred to me, since I'm moving soon anyway, and I'm trying to pare down my office supplies, I've got all this fabric collected in my office. And I've got some prints like this one that I've got like 2 yards of this gorgeous fabric. And it struck me like I have bags of zippers, I have lots of hardware, I have fabric, I have vinyl. Why don't I make a kit? And so along with the release of this design, and specifically for your live, but I'm hoping more people will see it now that they're watching it, I have kits available on my website at designsbylittleb.com. It's a drop-down box that says ID Wallet Kits at the top. And I have I think 10 different prints of fabric that I have a lot of to choose from. And they range from $20 to $25, depending on if you get a flash drive with it or not. And shipping is free. And so for $20, you can get everything you need to make the wallet. And then if you love it, you can go invest in all the zippers and all the hardware and all the vinyl and all that stuff. But I send you everything you need to make one. And if you're just making one for yourself, that's less than you would spend on supplies just for yourself.
Yes. No, I love this. I think this is an excellent idea, especially for someone that hasn't done it in the Hoop project and doesn't have all the things. Because I know I was in that same place years ago when I first discovered in the Hoop. I did not have any zippers in my craft room. I didn't have any of these little D-ring thingamabobs. Definitely didn't have any vinyl. So I think this is such a great idea. And I love that you are offering this to people. So real quickly, I am going to show y'all Melissa's website. It's going to look crazy for a second. There we go. And this one. Okay. So here's Melissa's website, Designs by Little B. So right here where she was saying 2025 shop sale, ID wallet kits. This is where you're going to go and you can see all of your options. So she has beautiful fabric options. It's going to come with all the fabric that you need for that particular wallet, the zipper, and the hardware. Now, there are some things I want to tell you with differences between the wallets. There are 2 different size zippers, like Melissa was saying. There is a size 3 and a size 5 zipper. So depending on which one you want, that's going to be the kit you're going to buy. So look at that when you're clicking on it. Like I love this lavender one. Here, I think that's a size 3 zipper. And it will say in the description. And then the next thing I want you to look at is, I guess, let's see. So you want to get the kit only, get the kit and the design. You need the design in order to make it, right? And then she'll email it to you. But if you would like the design mailed to you on a flash drive, she has that option as well. So you have lots of options when purchasing. The other thing I wanted to point out is there are 2 different placements of the zipper. You see how some of them say mid zip and some say top zip? That is how the finished wallet is going to look with the placement of the zipper. So for the one that I have, how do I get back here? Dude, nope, put Melissa back. Okay, the one that I have the top zip. So the zipper is all the way at the top of my bag. But the mid zip has a small piece of fabric at the top, and then the zipper is below it. So it's a little bit lower, and it has a piece of fabric on the top. So make sure when you're purchasing your kit or you're purchasing the design that you get, number one, the size zipper that you intend to use, and number two, the placement of where you want your zipper, whether you prefer it at the top or you like it down a little bit and have some fabric above it, because the kits are going to be made to accommodate that extra piece of fabric as well.
Yeah, and Carly, if I could mention, the reason I have them available with no design and no flash drive, no nothing, is because most people are buying more than one. So I didn't want you to spend your money on all the ones with the designs and then think, well, why am I paying the same for every one? So if you buy like 3, like you're going to make one for you, one for your grandson, one for your best friend, then just get one with the design and then just add the print for the other ones. That's why I did it that way.
That's an excellent point. I didn't even think about that. Great.
I didn't either. I just thought of it like, why did I do that way? And then it
came
struck
to you
me again. Please let me explain myself.
Okay. All right. Yay. Barbara says she has ordered 2 kits and they are great. Joe is like, too many choices. They're all good, Joe. You can't go wrong. Let's see.
Yeah, here are 2 of the other fabrics while you're looking for something.
Okay,
These are 2 of the other ones that I had collected. Look at that rainbow butterfly.
I love it.
And then I had to go get more of this one across town. I went into town to get the Hello Kitty fabric. That's
I have
my
Hello
set.
Kitty fabric too. I'm
obsessed.
I need to wait. My daughter is like the pickiest child in the world. And
oh no.
I didn't consult with her this morning to see exactly what she wanted. So I picked out just some pretty fabrics, but when she gets home, I will consult with the pickiest client ever and ask her exactly which Hello Kitty design would she like. Cause I got this fat quarter bundle from Walmart, like a long time
I have
ago.
like 3 of those.
Yeah.
I have those too.
I got this from Walmart like a long time ago, and she picks it every once in a while when I'm doing a project for her. But I need to know exactly.
A girl after my own heart right there.
Yes. Okay. So I had someone asked, can we see a sample of the top zip versus the mid zip? Do you have those?
I actually have I cannot believe I have this. This is a sample that's actually for sale on my website. Like you can buy the physical one. I stitched it out just as a test. And I have come to realize that I can't keep everything I make. So this is the top zip. The zipper is right at the top. There's no fabric up here. There's a sliver right there. And then this is the mid zip. This is for people who still cannot just wrap their minds around the machine going above the zipper. And that's totally fine. It can be scary. So the only difference in this one is the zipper is down here and there's a piece of fabric and a lining in this one. Just like that. This is the only difference is this strip right here. Otherwise, it's the same. It's got your little vinyl window. It's got your pouch for your money. Same thing. It's just top zip versus mid zip or middle zip. And if you shop on my website, that's the way I do like all my zipper bags. I like to give the most options possible. So that's the difference right there. Just this one strip of fabric.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. I see Lori had some trouble. She ordered the download but didn't receive it. So Melissa, what is your email?
Yeah, my email is designsbylittleb@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah. So Lori, just send Melissa an email and I'm sure she
and you don't even have to give me a bunch of details. Just tell me what we're saying right now and I'll give it to you. I'll send it to you right now. I'm sitting at my computer. I'm trying to share this video everywhere so that we
I
can.
think of you as I love you did a little reel or a short a long time ago where it was like the music from Full House where it was like designer and then you turned around and it was like customer support. You did something that was of that theme because like we are one person, Melissa and
Yeah, one-stop shop. I do
I have my
everything.
business. Melissa has her business. There are no other people involved.
Yeah,
So
nobody else here, just me and the cats.
we are marketing. We are our customer support. We are technical people, tech support. We
That's
I
it.
love those reels and those memes I've seen of our small business people that are just one person, but they serve all of those roles. That just made me
That's
think
it.
of that. Okay, so um, oh yay, Patty got some stuff. Patty got her flash drives yesterday. She got scissors and the sewing machine, and she absolutely loves them. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
have those too. Those are so cute.
She's got all kinds of good stuff on her machine. So y'all on her website. So y'all go check it out. All right, so let's jump to it. Let's talk about supplies. So I am going to try to do fancy camera work here. Nope, wrong. Which button? That button. So y'all, Melissa is still with us and we've moved over to the craft table so y'all could see everything that you're going to need for this project. So just looking at the finished product, like we said, we have that 12 gauge clear vinyl. There's a little piece of fabric on the bottom. There's your zipper, and you need the zipper pull with the zipper. And then if you get the mid zip, there'll also be a little piece of fabric at the top. There's also ribbon, or you can use the, what is it, the type of elastic. I forget what it's called, but you can even use folded pieces of fabric here to make your little loop to put your hardware through. And this is a lobster clasp, I think it's called, with a D-ring. So you could put that there. You can also just put a circle key ring holder there too if you want. As long as you put it in before it stitches the step, you can put anything in this loop here. Then when you open it, there's a piece of fabric that serves as a pocket, a piece of fabric for the back lining, and then fabric for the back. So when you get the instructions, they have PDF printable instructions with the design. And if you get the design and the kit, you can just look at this on your computer or you can print it out if you want to. But they're going to tell you everything you need. So this bag only comes in one size. Its purpose is strictly to be an ID case, so it's perfect size for IDs and business cards and other things that you can fit in here. I think the overall size is 4.6 inches by 3.6 inches. Now for the pieces to make this, here's my vinyl. I don't even know where I bought my vinyl from, but I'm sure Melissa has some good resources. I want to say I bought this at Applique Getaway like years ago, probably from Sweet and Sassy Blanks or All Stitched Up by Angela when she had a booth there. But I got some vinyl. That's going to come with your kit if you just get the kit. And so you're going to cut a piece of this that's 6.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall. So I have that cut. Then this is my piece of fabric. That's the bottom. I have it 6.5 inches wide by 2 inches tall. All right. Now the pocket, this piece of fabric here, that is one piece of fabric that's 6.5 inches wide by 6 inches tall, but we fold it in half and you're going to press it and get yourself a nice seam. And that's going to serve as your pocket when it's time. So you're going to cut it big, but then iron it and fold it in half and press it and get it nice, nice and flat. And it's going to go onto your design like that. Then the back piece of fabric. So there's your back. Oh, you know what I don't have? I didn't cut the lining. the back and the back lining is 6.5 inches wide by 5 inches tall. So I still need to cut my lining. I think I'm gonna go back to this color for my lining. So let me cut that real quick. All right, and while I'm cutting that, your other supplies is going to be your zipper. I have the size 3 zipper, and with like once you get into these type of projects and you want to make them all the time, you start collecting. They sell zipper tape. So this is sold by the yard. And so you can cut it to size and use it for lots of different projects. It doesn't have to be, you know, you don't have to buy specific length zippers if you don't want to. You can buy zipper tape. And I have this jig. Do you have this, Melissa, the zipper jig? Or are you good
I do not have the jig. I hold it in a very strange fashion and do it by hand.
Yeah, I used to do that. And then someone convinced me I needed this, and I do like it.
Oh, that's really cool. Show us that.
Okay. Because it never failed. Like when I was in my craft room by myself, I could get the zipper pull on there by hand. But as soon as I went live,
oh
I didn't
yeah,
know anyone else how to put the zipper pull on there. Everything was fumbling, going everywhere. And it took forever. So I was like, I'm going to get this to save me. All right, there's my lining piece. It's the same size as my back piece. So these are all your pieces of fabric. I think I cut, no, that's my pocket. This is my back. This is my back lining, bottom, pocket, and vinyl. Okay, I got my piece of ribbon that I'm gonna use for my hardware. And I got my zipper. So for the zipper, 6 inches of zipper. So let me cut that. And this, I love this zipper tape because it looks like it's metal, but it's nylon. So it's easy to cut, and your machine can sew through it. And this one has like a rainbow ombre effect to it. And it comes with the zipper pull. So once if you have zipper tape, there's no pulls on it. You have to add it to it. And the little rainbow zipper pulls. All right. Okay, so this is the zipper jig. And the way it works is it has a number 3 or a number 5 written on it. So this is a number 3 zipper, the smaller one. And you slide it on there where, I think it's this way, might be this way. The hardware hangs off one side, and this side holds the zipper with, I guess, the larger opening side going up. And it just holds it into place for you. And then you're going to take your zipper tape and pull it apart just a smidge. And you're going to feed it into the zipper pull as the jig is holding it, like that. And now my zipper pull is on my zipper tape. And I do that so much quicker than I do any other time I try to show it live. And once you pull this through and then pull it back, it's going to open. But for the time of the actual stitching, we're going to pull it almost all the way to the other side, and we're going to end up taping it out the way during the first portion of the stitch. And then we're going to pull it when we get towards the end. There's a step where we have to pull the zipper open and tape it down in the middle so that it's not close, because this bit is metal. So we want to make sure that stays out the way and that doesn't get hit by the needle. All right, and then my thread, and everything can be done in a 5x7 hoop. And I will be using my brother PE800 to stitch this out today. And the stabilizer you're going to want to use is tearaway. It's important to use tearaway because there's going to be a step when you're trying to take this bag off, and you're going to need to tear the stabilizer away from behind the zipper so that you can actually get through it. So I have pre-cut sheets of tearaway, which I love. They fit my 5x7 hoop perfectly. And my favorite thing about in the hoop projects is that I do not have to figure out placement at all. I don't have to hoop anything other than stabilizer. And that is a beautiful thing. Okay. All right, so we are ready to go to the machine. All you need is a hooped piece of tearaway stabilizer and load the machine, the design onto the machine. Real quickly, I'm going to do that, but I need to iron my little pieces, and I need to, especially my pocket piece, I need to do it in half. So let me do that real quick just to get everything nice. All right, this is going to be my lining. Do we need an inside lining piece too, don't we? I forgot to cut that.
Yeah, the fold over that goes behind your ID.
Okay, I need to cut another piece like this one.
Yeah, that's this piece of fabric.
All right,
so that's usually I use the lining, like just a blank color or a solid color, but you could definitely use your little print if you wanted to show behind the ID.
The pattern I'm kind of going with is like using the pretty patterned fabric for the pocket and the back, and then using more of a solid fabric for the strip at the bottom front and the lining. That's kind of the way I like to do them, but you can use a different piece of fabric for each one if you wanted to. Okay, so I need to quickly cut a piece for the lining. I think I was reading too fast when I was reading the instructions, and I didn't read the lining behind that part. Okay.
Oh, I cut several kits and had to go back and open the package back up because I forgot that pocket piece. It's a thing. It just, you have to read the instructions, even if you did the design.
It specifically says fabric for the bottom, underneath vinyl, 2 pieces, 1 for the front, 1 for the lining. All I'm looking at is this. 6.5 by 2. It says what you need. Just read the instructions. Don't be like me. Okay. So I need 6.5. Ugh. I'm trying to get better at cutting fabric with my quilting ruler because I'm working on making a quilt right now, and I have a ton of fabric to cut, like all like random sizes, and I'm like the slowest person when it comes to cutting. There we go. Let me iron that one little piece. All right, now I got all my pieces. So 2 of them like that. So when it's done, it's going to look like that's the back. There's your pocket. That's the lining. That's the front. And there's your vinyl. Like that. That's going to be pretty. Okay. All right. So now let's go over to the machine. Okay. And I got to turn it on. I need to load the thread. I think I'm just going to use white for everything because I want my thread color to blend in you're going to see thread on the front top by the zipper, and you can have fun with it and put like an accent color that's going to show up in front of your zipper, or you can do a color that is the same as your zipper so it blends in. That's what I did with mine here. I used black thread so that it blended in with the zipper. So this one is a white zipper pull, so I'm going to use white right there. But that should be the only spot where you actually see thread. Everything else is going to be hidden. And lower the presser foot, thread the needle, raise the press foot. Okay, load the design. And so, Melissa, have you personalized any of your wallets?
I have not. I made a bunch for samples and sold them on my website as samples, but I haven't personalized one.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about that a little bit while it's stitching, like what maybe your options would be if you wanted to add something fun. The one thing that came to mind for me would be in a separate hooping, like before you get started, you could stitch through your clear vinyl something cute, or even a name or a monogram, you know, whether it be on the side or right in the front of it. But you could stitch on this clear vinyl. You could just tape it down to tearaway stabilizer like this, and you can stitch right on top of it and then take it off and then set up everything to make the wallet. And now you have pre-stitched clear vinyl to put. Now that would defeat the purpose of seeing your ID through it. But if it's not something like super important that needs to be seen through it, I think that would be cute. You could also try to figure out placement to maybe where it's like on the side where you still would see your ID through it, or the top or the bottom. And then
you could even do that in the hoop, Carly. You could add that while it's in the hoop. There's nothing behind the vinyl when you're stitching it.
Okay, I was thinking
until you put that pocket on the back, there's nothing on there.
Right. Okay, so you could do that.
That would help you line it up so you can still see the ID
you could
through
do it on in Embrilliance, open up the design first, then you can get your placement perfect. That's great. Okay. Where you would need a separate hooping is maybe if you wanted to personalize the back piece of fabric. That would be separate then. Okay. But I like both of those ideas, would be really fun. All right, I've loaded my design. I got my thread in, my bobbin is in. I am going to hit start, and this, I probably should have did a different color than white so y'all could see it. I'm just thinking about that. This is going to be a placement stitch. So actually, let me grab some blue thread.
Yeah, and I have a 1-inch monogram. I have several 1-inch monograms on my website too. Patty. I'm answering questions.
Let's see. All right. So stitch this in white when I probably should have done a darker color. Let's see. I think it's this way. You can't see it at all. Oh, maybe you can. I think I'm gonna restitch this in blue real quick. I'm gonna just go right on top of it, and that way y'all can see it, because it's gonna be hard to explain to y'all why I'm putting things where I'm putting them if y'all can't even see the outline. Just don't let me forget to change my thread back to white for the part that it's gonna show. That's where I want it. Okay, I'm going to hit the needle plus minus button and go backwards a step. And it's going to stitch that whole thing over again. And it's just going through stabilizer, so it's fine. The thread's messed up. I don't know where my tweezers are. Oh, finger. Okay. It got hooked on something. There we go. All right. All right, so Lucy must have just joined us. This design is from Designs by Little Bee, and that's who has joined us today. Melissa is the designer, and you can find everything at her website, including kits with everything you need to make this design if you don't have zippers and hardware and clear vinyl at home. Now, y'all can see where things go. So that's much better. All right, let's go back to the craft table. And we're going to move on to the next step. All right, so I have my design is turned so that it fits in my hoop appropriately, but this is the top and this is the bottom, the way it's loaded on my machine. It's no different if it's rotated, but just know the wider bit is going to be your top and the smaller, skinnier bit is the bottom of the wallet. All right. So now is where you are going to grab your zipper and you're going to place it in between the two lines that is the top. Okay. Now, one thing to think about is, and this would be in my case before I would have made my zipper, some people are particular in the way zippers open. So like mine opens from, what is this, right to left? If you want your zipper to open left to right, then I think the zipper has to be out this way, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It can go this way. So just think about that when you're placing your zipper on which way you actually want it to open when you're placing it down. All right. And I'm going to turn my hoop so that maybe it looks a little bit better. And then let's see. Another thing is the hardware bit will be on the right side, but you can make your zipper open on either side. All right. So I'm going to do it the opposite side for this one just to be different. Am I correct in that, Melissa, that I can put the zipper pull starting at the beginning on either side?
Yes.
Okay.
And I always do mine the opposite way of you. Mine always go, because like, I don't know if it makes sense because I'm right-handed. I don't know. I always do my pull left to right. But yeah, it's your personal preference.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna
As
play
long
with
as
it.
you remember to move it to the middle before you stitch the last step.
Got it. Okay. Now, another helpful thing to have with these kinds of projects is some sort of tape. I have Kimberbell paper tape that I love to use, but I think you can also use masking tape. I know a lot of people use Scotch tape. So you do need something to secure it in place. And so I'm having it to where my zipper pull is right in between those two lines. Okay. And my zipper pull is a little bit close to the stitch line, but I think it's okay. All right, and then the next step is going to tack down the zipper. And it's just going to do two lines like this. And I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to my white thread now just to be safe that my color doesn't show through that I don't want. Okay. All right. Yeah, my zipper pull is too close. I should have cut my zipper tape longer. I must have read that wrong. All right. I'm going to pull this as far out of the way as I can. Okay, that's going to be better. And all right, I just pulled my zipper pull as far this way as possible. I had it a little bit too close. Okay, the next step is your vinyl. And again, you're going to probably need some tape in order to tape it into place. But we want to place it up against the bottom of your zipper teeth. So like just a smidge even away from it, but pretty much right snug underneath it. So that's going to be your placement for your vinyl, is right underneath the teeth bit of your zipper. So y'all see that? So I'm going to, I don't need this tape here anymore because my zipper is in place. So I could pull it away from there. I got stitched through. Okay. And now I can put it over here. That one I'm going to leave on there. Okay. And the next step is going to do that step here that is pretty much the only time you're going to see thread color on this project. So make sure your thread color is the color that you want for this step. And this is going to tack your vinyl into place. Okay, so I got my white. I'm good. That's up there. I'm just holding it flat right here. All right. Now I'm going to, every step I'm going to take it off just so I make sure it's clear that you know where we're putting the next piece of fabric. So now my clear vinyl is attached to the zipper. All right. Next, you're going to want to grab, remember we talked about all of our fabric pieces, and some are lining pieces and some are front and pocket and back. You're going to want the piece that is going to be the lining on the inside bottom. So this little tiny piece of blue that you can see here, and I just so happen to use the same fabric on the outside, that is what you're going to want now. And you're going to want it right side down. And you want to cover this top line of this bottom little rectangle right here. So this is the line that you want to cover. This is where it's going to stitch. Okay. So right side down, covering that. I don't think it has to cover the bottom line. You just want to cover that strip. And again, this is where you can like take the tape that you had holding your vinyl down, and you can just pull it up and now have both of them taped down. Okay, and then go back to your machine and it's going to stitch a line. All right. Let's see. So now we will lower the presser foot and stitch this bottom tack down line. Okay. So here is the stitch line it just did. Okay, Melissa, can you see the comments?
Yeah.
Okay, I
I
think.
was changing that zipper size. Okay, did you? Okay. Yeah, I'm on with Lori. I got her.
Okay, great. All right.
I'm coming, Lori.
I am confusing myself with the way I printed out the instructions to make sure that I am turning them the right way. Okay, they got numbers. 4, 5. Okay, so all we did is this tack down line here. Then it says grab your front little strip of fabric. So this is going to be the front part of the bag, and place it right side down to cover up that same line. Your fabrics are now mirroring each other. Check underneath your hoop to make sure that your lining fabric did not fold or wrinkle. Oh no, the lining fabric went on the underneath of the hoop. Ah, see, reading. This fabric didn't go here. This fabric was supposed to go on the back, on the other side of the hoop. So really quick fix for that is a seam ripper. And just grab that out.
Sorry, I wasn't watching that.
I'm sorry, I can't read.
Look, I have to read the instructions every time I make one. My own instructions.
Yeah.
I came up with this.
It's same. I mean, same here. I mean, it can be stuff I've made before, and I made this wallet already, but it's still like, it's yeah, you got to look at it every time. Okay, so if you make mistakes like me, it's not the end of the world. You just use a seam ripper and you get it out. And now I will pay more attention to my reading.
I'm going to make myself some coffee in 10 seconds. That should help me with
I have
paying
coffee
attention.
in front of me. I need to drink it.
See, I was drinking a caffeine-free Diet Coke. Like,
Why?
why bother? I don't know. I have those for like the afternoon, so I don't like load up on caffeine in the afternoon. And for some reason, I just grabbed it when it was just fridge this morning, and I was just thinking, like, of all days, why would you not? It's 11:30, and I have not had caffeine. This is nuts. In fact, I'm getting up right now. I'm not answering one email. I will say the wrong thing.
Okay. So I just use a seam ripper and pulled that up. No biggie. Now I'm going to do it the right way. Turn the hoop over. So we are going back. This is going to be step 4 in the instructions, where you turn the hoop over. We're looking at that same line, but we're just looking at it on the back side of the hoop. And we're still putting the liner fabric right side down. So I'm going to do it this way now. So what's going to end up happening is it's going to get pulled over like this. So I can even hide my bit where I messed up and have all the little punch holes in it. You won't even see it. Okay. Now tape that. Now, this can be tricky if you've never done in the hoop projects where you had to tape stuff to the back. Don't push too hard on your hoop because you can push the whole thing out of the hoop. So what I do is I lay my stuff in place. I lay my tape in place all gently. And then I turn the hoop over and then I rub it in where the tape was. Because on this side, I could put pressure. I got a nice hard surface underneath it. But on this side, it's kind of poking up and they got this free space right here. Now they do make these wool, I think Dime makes them, wool press pads that fit in the hoop perfectly to give yourself a nice hard surface when you have to turn your hoop over and do stuff like that. So if you do a lot of these projects, those might be a good investment for you. All right, I fixed my boo-boo and I am going to go back to the machine and I'm going to hit the needle plus minus button and I'm going to go backwards one step so that I could redo the step that I messed up. Okay. Lower presser foot. And I should move. And there we go. It's going to go to the same spot it was. And when, I didn't point it out when I did it though, but when you put your hoop back on, make sure you kind of try to peek underneath, or I could see through my stabilizer that my fabric is still in the right place. It didn't get bunched up and moved out the way when I put my hoop back on. I could see it's still in place. Okay, we fixed step 4. On to step 5. No, I still did it wrong. I need to read more. I was supposed to put a piece of fabric there before I started. Okay, let's start over. Step number 4. Turn your hoop over, tape your piece of fabric here. Then turn your hoop right side up and take your front piece of fabric and tape it here. So you're going to stitch both pieces of fabric at the same time. So on the instructions, it's step 4 and 5. But on the machine, I think it's what, just step 4.
Yeah, I don't necessarily number mine with the steps like on the tutorial. I just try to number it like what you're doing physically.
Order of things. So yes.
And I know that digitizers do this. Digitizers do zipper bags all kinds of ways.
Yes.
And the way I always do mine is you put the lining on, you put the front on, and then you stitch them, like tack them down.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carly does tutorials for I don't know how many different people, and we're all different. We all have different kind of methods.
Yeah. So like it says in the instructions, you can see that your fabric is facing each other. Like this one's right side down and this one's right side down. So they're facing each other. And this is when you're going to stitch that step, and both of those are going to stitch at the same time. So once again, I'm going to go back.
I ran in here with my coffee to tell you. I am watching now. I answered an email and I'm done with that.
Okay. Let me jump one stitch. I hate when the machine moves when I'm not ready. Okay. So that is the first stitch of this step. Okay. 3rd time's a charm.
All right.
Okay. All right, I'll get a little too like, oh, I know what I'm doing, and I'm just going, and I'm like, no, I need to read.
I still read the instructions on almost all. I mean, if it's not like a stat pad, anything that has zippers and turning and things, I read. Yes. I have my PDF open every time. Doesn't matter how many times I made it.
Yes.
Okay. I mess up all the time.
I do too. It's always live. All right. Then, okay, so we stitched down the 2 fabrics. Once we've done that, this is the part where, this is the time where she suggests that now you can trim this extra bit of clear vinyl that is down here. So let me find, I like to use these applique snips. I don't know how good they're going to cut on vinyl, but I'm sure it's fine. You can also just use regular scissors. So this is just going to reduce the bulk at the bottom of the bag. Okay. Now, let's read. You don't want to trim them too close so that it can possibly come out of the stitches, but you want the vinyl caught in the very bottom stitch of, you don't want that vinyl in the very bottom stitch of your bag either. So you want to trim right along the middle of the bottom line rectangle. You don't need to trim the fabric underneath the tack down lines here.
Yeah, so on the very bottom, there's your rectangle. That's where your little accent fabric is going to go. So I trimmed my clear vinyl right in the middle, horizontally, right in the middle of that rectangle.
Yes.
I didn't trim right up against the tack down. It's not an applique, you know? So yes. I don't want it in the very, there you go. I don't want it in the very bottom because then you have to turn that, and that would be a pain in the butt for no reason.
Right. So you want it in the middle of this rectangle. Then as far as this fabric goes, unless when you placed it, it went like all the way down here, you don't need to trim this one, right?
Right.
Okay, as long as that's still falling in there. And then same here. This one is not going below this line.
That's perfect.
Okay. All right. Now you're going to flip over your hoop and grab your lining fabric, and you're going to pull it down. So now that we have this stitch here holding it in place, I got a whole bunch, I got a little nest here from all the times I had to redo this. Okay. Now we're going to pull this down. And this is our inside lining fabric, and we're going to tape that into place. Okay. Now, that's its permanent home. That's where it's going to stay for the rest of this tutorial, on the back side of the hoop. Now, turn it on the front side of the hoop, and you're going to do the same thing with this front bottom piece of fabric. Pull it down. Tape it or secure it into place. And this is also the permanent home for that piece of bottom fabric. All right. Now, grab your pocket fabric. This is the fabric that's going to go inside and behind your clear vinyl. And put it on the back of your hoop. So we're flipping the hoop back over. We got our lining piece, our front piece folded down in its place. And we're on the back side of the hoop. You want the pressed edge, so your nice edge where you ironed it, not your raw edges here. You want the nice pressed edge going towards your zipper. And you want it to line up at the bottom of the placement line for your zipper. So my placement line is actually, I think, the blue line, the first one I did. So you see that blue rectangle there? It's that bottom bit of that. That's where I want the folded edge of my pocket fabric to line up right there. That looks good? Okay.
Yeah, and Carly, while you tape that down, I will add that is not like the reasoning behind that is because when you have the little pocket for your ID or your school ID or whatever you have in the front, you unzip your zipper, and especially with the middle zip version, you don't want that pocket fabric kind of having the chance to get caught up in your zipper teeth.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a exact, like to the millimeter rule, but just make sure that it's below the teeth of your zipper.
Yeah, you don't want that to always go
That's the
caught
purpose
in your,
behind that request. I like to give the purpose behind why I'm telling you to do something.
That makes perfect sense.
The first one I made, I put it like all the way up to the top, and it's awful.
Yes. Okay. All right. So that is there. And now we're going to stitch the next step, which is no, I'm looking at something wrong. I'm on the back of my hoop. Okay. I'm on the back of my hoop. It is taped into place. I'm turning my hoop back over. I'm putting it on my machine, and it's going to stitch something that's going to hold that pocket into place. So now we can go back to the machine and stitch the next step. Okay.
Yeah, the next step just secures that little pocket that it's like 3 sides of the square.
Okay. Now raised presser foot. And so, yeah, I just did this 3 sides of the, 3 sides here. And that has secured the pocket into place. All right. Now, I have all these things taped that are now secure. So I'm going to pull the tape off so I can use it for other things. Pocket's secure. This is secure. This is all good. All right. Anything in the comments happening?
Nope.
All right. Okay. So we're done with that step. Now, in big old red letters in the instructions, very important, move the zipper pull to the inside of the design now. So my zipper pull was on the end, and now I'm going to pull it into the middle. I'm going to use one of my leftover pieces of tape here, and I'm going to tape that into place. If you don't do this step, you will end up stitching your bag closed and not even be able to open your zipper. Very important. Okie dokie. Next step. Now is where we're going to do our hardware. I don't have any hardware in front of me. I need for that to pull that
I can send it to you through the phone. I've got mine right here.
So this is what happens when you like in the hoop projects. You end up with things like this. Highly recommend these little boxes. I call them like tackle boxes. Yeah, let's see what you got, because you probably have way more.
Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 of them, but I've got snaps, eyelets. I've got all kinds of hardware. This one has just, everything, all the things. Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay, so
that's a great screenshot right there. Behold my consumerism.
Okay, since I have a rainbow zipper pull, I have a rainbow D-ring lobster clasp too. So I love all the metal hardware that's like this.
I love it. Where did you get that zipper? Did you already say that?
I'm trying to remember. The problem is,
was it that wizarding?
I bought a lot of stuff from the wizarding witchery place.
Yeah. They
They're
have the
actually
cutest stuff.
located close to me. They're from Homa, and I'm butchering their name because I don't actually
Let me
know.
look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
That's my job. I'm here to
Okay,
help.
look it up and post the website. But there is a
Uh-huh.
company that is in Homa, Louisiana, and I learned about them first from a YouTuber that I love to watch, Okla Roots. She specializes in sewing purses and bags, and I love watching her, even though I have never sewn a real bag. But she's the one that I think I heard the name first from, this company that sells zipper pulls and zipper tape. And then I saw them at, I think, Everything Embroidery Market and Applique Getaway, and I bought a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay, so it's called Wizardry Stitchery, but their website is way easier to remember. It's geekyhardware.com.
Geeky Hardware. I love it.
Yeah, and I posted all that in the chat.
Yay, thank you. Okay. All right, so I got my ribbon. Let me move this out of the way. I probably got it way much longer than I need it to be. But you're going to take your ribbon. You could also take a piece of scrap fabric. Let's see, here's some fabric. And fold it, iron it, fold it. You could do something like this as well. I would need to fold mine more. You could even do it double like that. And so that you have, and with this one, you'd probably need to sew, do a top stitch along here to close it in. But if you just folded it like that, you could do that as well and make yourself a little pull with fabric is an option, or you can use ribbon, or you can use that elastic that I used to make kids headbands out of. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the same size as this, but it's just elastic.
Fold over elastic.
Fold over elastic. That's it. I never could remember the name of it. Okay, so you're going to position your stuff like this, all right, and put it on the side because there's a placement step first that's going to show us right where to put our ribbon. So let me make sure I read all of my instructions. Okay. It's going to face the inside the bag. Make sure to stay under the zipper. And then use a tape to hold it down. Okay. So go back to the machine and we're going to stitch the placement step. Okay. That's there. Lower presser foot. Placement stitch is in white, so it's going to be hard to see. All right. You may want to be like, not like me and stitch that in a different color so you can actually see where it is, but I can see. It's like from here to here. Oops. That is where it doubled up and went over. So I'm holding my fingers there. And come here. Okay, I'm holding my fingers where it was. And you're going to take your hardware with your ribbon or whatever fabric, and you're going to do the opposite of what you think you should do. You're going to put your stuff going to the inside of your bag, not on the outside like the finished product is, because we're actually sewing the bag inside out. We're going to end up turning it. So have it poking this way as much as you want to have when you're done coming out like that. Okay. Once you have that into place, you're going to want to tape both sides. Tape the side as the ribbon coming out and tape your metal hardware so that it's not moving all over the place. Okay, and now you're going to go back to your machine and it's actually going to tack this down. So that's what it looks like. Everybody see?
Yeah, I usually think I'm too experienced to use tape, and I learned a lesson the hard way with one of my samples with the size 5 zipper because it's a bulky zipper pull, and that was the week that I sold my embroidery machine. So I'm just lucky that I just broke a needle and didn't actually hurt my machine. So you are never too experienced or too good to use tape and tape down the hardware. Let me tell you.
Whenever I'm nervous that something's going to move, even if I have it taped down, I like to use a little stiletto to kind of make sure it's going where I want it to.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is tacked down. Take hoop off machine. Okie dokie smoky. Let's see.
This is Haley's kit. If Haley's still watching, there's your kit.
Haley. So I'm looking at the chat on my end, and I don't see where you put the name, the website of the stitchery stuff.
I put it. Did it not come through? I was under my name, which was weird. I'm on Designs by Little B now.
I don't know. I don't see it. But Marina just said, what's the name of the hardware website again?
Okay, it's geekyhardware.com.
Let me see if I can do it on my end. Geeky or EY. There we go. Now I see you. It says, is this thing on? You type it for me.
Yeah. Okay, that's me. Also, okay. I'm not sure if are we allowed to put links in in videos? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there you go. Hopefully I'm on now.
That is tacked down. Okay, now is a good time to check the front and the back of your hoop before moving on. We've done a lot of tack downs and manipulation of fabric, so there's a good possibility something could have folded over or wrinkled in a way that is not ideal for your final project. When you're sure everything looks good, make sure that you remember to move your zipper pull inside the bag and grab your back piece of fabric, the back of your bag, if you flipped it over, so this piece, and place it right side down to cover the entire project. Okay, so I got 2 pieces of fabric left. One is my lining fabric and one is my back fabric. I like the pattern for my back. We're going to go right side down, and it's going to cover up the whole project. I got tape. Tape. Maybe it's not letting you do links because it didn't post anything. All I see is this thing on.
Did you see Wizardry Stitchery is the name? They have a Facebook group.
Okay. Just write the name of the company and then they can Google it.
Got it.
Okay. So yeah, double checking. Our zipper pull is on the inside. I'm just, you want to leave these 2 things taped. I'll leave this alone too. And my back piece is right side down, covering the entire project. I'm going to read the instructions. Nope. Did I do this wrong? I turned my hoop over. It didn't tell me to turn my hoop over. It said grab the back piece, not the back of the hoop. All right. Try that again.
Time to check this.
Grab your back piece of fabric and place it right side down over the entire project and run the tack down for this piece.
And right before that, it says place it on top of your hoop, right side down to cover the entire project.
Okay.
I'm reading with you.
Okay, thank you.
I will say, I want to add to this because I'm looking at the PDF as you're stitching it, and I think people might get the impression like, well, are these instructions hard to follow? And I'm looking at my own writing, and in each step, I have almost a paragraph of information.
That's why I
I,
glossed over it.
so I want to say two things about that.
Okay.
One, no matter whose design you're stitching, especially if it's your first time stitching a certain type of project, but even if it's not, it's a good idea to read through the entire PDF, so you can kind of have a gist of what's coming up
Yes.
next.
Yes.
And two, I always feel like it's better to give too much information than not enough.
I totally
And
agree.
so I find myself, I write instructions like I write in my personal life. When I write for myself, I'm very verbose. But I have personally gotten designs from digitizers who will write like one sentence and they show you a picture. And I'm like, but wait. And so I say things like, now's a good time to check the front and back. You've done a lot of manipulation of fabrics and there's
No,
a
I
good
think that's
possibilities.
great.
I mean,
Yes.
I tend to be a little flowery and descriptive, but the end result is the same if you can bear with me and just make sure that you read the whole thing. And I'm always an email away if you just really want to complain or say, Melissa, what are you trying to say here? You can email me. I check my email every day.
Me
So
too. I'm an email junkie. I check it too much, probably. My husband fusses
Wendy
at
says, I had to leave for most of the class. If I bought the kit with the USB, will I get everything I need? Yes, Wendy. The kit, if you choose the one with the flash drive or with the design, it comes with a PDF tutorial. That's what Carly is following right now that
me.
I am helping with.
Oh, wait, here it is.
And then you can come back and watch the video and see it again.
Okay.
Thank you, Marina. Marina's giving me encouragement. She said, I love your instructions. Thank you. I
Yes.
know, different digitizers and different teachers for that matter, we all have our own way, and sometimes you like it and sometimes you don't. But the end result, if you like the design, you deal with it.
Yes.
And this is a great design. Oh, I didn't have to type because she heard me. Oh, cool. Hi.
So there's some extra stitches going on right here to help, because this is going to be the area that's going to get a lot of stress when you turn the bag right side out. So if you were wondering why there was more stitching going on there, I'm pretty sure that's why, which is great because sometimes I put a lot of stress on my stuff trying to turn it right side out. Okay.
What? No.
Like, get open.
Open up.
Okay, so I just finished step 12 in the PDF instructions, and I am going to step 13. It says remove the hoop, flip it over.
Now we're flipping it over.
Now we're flipping it over. Take your back lining piece and place it to cover the step that you just stitched, which is the outer part of the whole bag. Right side down, facing the lining and the stabilizer. Pin it into place or tape it. Stitch your final stitch, which will go almost all the way around the whole project, and it's going to leave a small hole so that you will be able to turn the bag right side out. Your needle should not hit the zipper pull on this step, but I always sit and watch it just in case. I know I was watching it when it was stitching here because like my zipper pull is poking out right here, but it went right above it. So this is essentially going to do that same stitch, but leave a hole at the bottom. Now, this is the last step of the project, but because we got all this stuff going on in the hoop, Melissa made an extra step on the embroidery machine so that when you're finished stitching, usually when you finish stitching the last step of a design, the needle likes to automatically go back to the center of the hoop. And you don't want that to happen when you got all this bulk going on in here of my zipper pull and my hardware. So this stitch I'm about to show you is the last one, and there's an extra step on the machine that you actually don't stitch. Okay, so I got my lining piece right side down on the back of my hoop, and now I'm going to go stitch the last step.
I'm so sorry if y'all just heard that. My long-haired calico that I showed you earlier, Carly,
Uh-huh.
she loves to lay down right under my chair, and I rolled about 6 inches and rolled on her tail, and she just screamed so loud. I was hoping I had it on mute, but I didn't. I'm
Poor
sorry,
baby.
y'all.
No, I didn't. I
She's
didn't hear
okay.
anything. But yeah, I hope
Oh,
she's
good.
okay.
Well, everybody, don't worry. She's spoiled. She's okay. She's already over it. So that
Yes.
just scared me.
I was telling Melissa before we went live, I had to kick my cat out because he loves to jump on top of my multi-needle machines and play in the thread spools and then get them wrapped around his paws and his head and then jump off the multi-needle machine and take the thread with it and go run around
Oh,
the
no.
entire house with the thread wrapped around his feet and his tail. And yeah, it's and I'm upstairs. So he'll go downstairs.
Yeah. And I'm back in the house in a room with no door. So
Yes.
I just hope, I
Out.
just try my best to look before I roll, but stuff happens.
All right. So
Poor baby.
on the back of the design, you can see there's no stitching here to here, and that's going to be where we turn it out. Okay, but on my machine, it's showing me I have one more step. So that's why when it finished stitching, it stayed right here. It didn't go back. It didn't try to go back to the center. So great. So we are done with the machine portion of this project. So let me read. 13. Here's 14. Machine work is done. Remove hoop and unhoop project. Carefully cut around the edge of your whole design, leaving your seam allowance, leaving a seam allowance that you are comfortable with, maybe a 1/2 inch. Leave the little tab or nub at the turning hole as shown. Okay, so if you look at the picture, you see how she kind of left a little extra length of fabric. This is the hole where we're going to turn. So we're going to do that too. So we'll cut close here. I'll probably trim the corners and then leave like a tab of fabric here. I'm also going to remove all my tape before I start cutting, just to get it out.
Ooh, I just found an extra set of this print that I didn't think I had. Oh,
Yay.
This is the cat that climbed into our Christmas tree when she was just a couple of months old
Oh no.
in the morning before school and got trapped, and the lights were wrapped around her leg, and we had to cut her out.
Oh, my poor
And
baby.
my son, who went to school crying, I had to
Oh.
email his teachers and say, please be gentle with my kid today. It was traumatic. I mean, she was screaming. We were crying.
Oh.
I was wielding scissors, cutting up our Christmas tree. Yeah, I just remember that. She is a terror, honestly.
Oh, we had a scare with our cat. So you're like what, around Nashville?
Uh-huh.
Let me go in this way. Yeah, I'm cutting it the wrong way.
Oh, and don't forget when you cut these, you should always cut from the side where you can see that
that hole.
space.
Yeah, because I was doing it wrong. Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll just cut right by it.
I'm like, I'm assuming
Especially if
that's
you're
where the
thinking about
hole is.
cats, like I always am.
Okay, so this is my little tab. So something like that, when I can cut. I'll just do that after. Okay. Then from here, like a 1/2 inch or so. Yuck.
Did you have a pet in the tree?
No, so we got a cat. It's going to be 2 years this summer that we've had a cat. And we were never cat people before. My husband never had one. I never had one growing up. But we adopted this cat that lived around my mom's house outside. The mama had babies. And we had our first Christmas with it. We were so nervous. He got in the tree a little bit, but it wasn't anything horrible.
Yeah.
But we had a scare with him because we had that crazy snowstorm that, we never get snow. And the night before, so we wake up, it's snowing, we're all excited, the kids, running downstairs, it's snow outside, and then I'm distracted, by the snow, and then I'm realizing the cat usually meows at my door every morning, like, let me in, come play with me. And I'm like, I never heard the cat this morning. I was like, where is he? And then we searching the whole house, looking at all his hiding spots, can't find him anywhere. And then realize the night before, we had some friends come over to watch a football game. And I remember when they left, there was a crack in the door, in the front door. And I immediately called up to Abigail because earlier that evening, I told her, go put the cat in your room and close the door, because we had food out and the cat kept trying to jump up on the counter and get all the food. So I saw the front door open and I was like, oh crap, the cat. And then I was like, wait. And I called up to Abigail and I was like, the cat's still in your room, right? And she's like, yeah. And I didn't think nothing of it. Closed the door. Next morning, no cat. And so I asked, poor baby, she felt so bad. But I asked Abigail, I said, last night when I called up to you and I asked you if the cat was in your room, I said, did you physically see the cat or you just assumed the cat was in there? And she's like, I just assumed the cat was in there.
Yeah, don't ever do that.
But we went walking. So by this time, there is like inches of snow on the ground. And we go walk around. We're crying. I'm like, he's gone. The one night he gets out is the night it's freezing and it snows and everything. And then we're walking around the neighborhood calling him and everything. And then my husband finds him. He was in the bushes in the next door neighbor's front of the house. He tracked him. My husband's a hunter, and he tracked him like a deer. He like looked at the footprints, like, because he showed up at the front door meowing. And so Chris like followed his little footprints to see where he was. And he was in the bushes and the neighbors like hunkered down, probably, out the wind and out the snow. But he was perfectly fine. He was just cold.
Yeah. Nobody worries more than the owners of the quote owners of an outdoor cat.
Yeah.
So let's see your seam allowance. What do you like to do? Because I'm always like, what do I tell people to do? Like, I just kind of say what you're comfortable with.
Let's see. I guess it's more like a 1/4 inch. Yeah, I did low.
Yeah,
I guess
that's about what I do.
And
what did you do there at the corners and why?
I snipped the corners like really close. I do that with any project that has turns in it so that there's no bulk in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns, you have a nicer curve right there. Okay. So that's that. And then I got my little tab. So you could see all that. So this is all part, it's going to stay on one side and you only have the lining here. And this is the part where you're going to put a little bit of stress here on these corners. But let me make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. Now we're going to turn it like this. And one way you could do it is just pushing it with your fingers. I also have a pair of hemostats that with some hard to turn things, I will go grab it and pull it out. But I have bad luck with pulling it, like it clamps too hard on the fabric and maybe makes a little hole in it. So I only use that as a last resort. But because this is all fabric and not vinyl, it's not that bad to turn. And then you can use like a turning tool of some sort to go and help you get those corners pushed out. Or you can even use like the end of a pencil with an eraser and like push it up in there. But we're going to be turning it again. There's like 2 turns. So this one doesn't have to be, I think, super pushed out because we're going to do it again. Okay, so something like this is what's happening. Now this is the back lining, and this is your inside pocket. And then here is your zipper. So, but before we move on to this, we should close up the hole that we created here. And that's where these little tabs are going to come in nicely because we can just fold them in. Like here. That's it, one side and then the other side. So it's something like this. Now, how you want to close this is up to you. I've seen people use hot glue, but I have the same tape that Melissa uses, and that's I have a love-hate relationship with this because it sticks to my fingernails and it doesn't want to work the way I want to sometimes. Okay. But this is peel and stick fabric tape. It's double-sided fabric tape, basically, is what it is. So when you pull it away here, it's sticky. And then it has a paper. So you want to cut this. You see how I have it on my nail like that? That's when it gets stuck to my finger. Okay. So I just want to cut a piece that is about as big as my opening. And then you can slide it in the little hole here. And try and stick it to one side. Like I said, love and hate. But I also am probably being extra and like trying to get it in the perfect spot. So I'm trying to get it like right underneath my fold here, but to the edges, and I have it pressed now on the lining piece. So it's just on that side. And now I'm going to pull the paper piece away and then smush it close. And now it's going to adhere it. But getting the paper off is sometimes tedious. Do you have the same problems with this tape, Melissa, or you got any tips to make me not hate this? Ah, I got one corner.
No, I mean, I do have the same problem in that it sticks to your fingers and you have to kind of do this weird claw-like, but it beats the heck out of sewing it. I mean,
oh yeah.
To me, that's not an option to do like a ladder stitch or whatever people talk about.
No, I've tried. It's worth it. Yeah, I need to learn how to do that ladder stitch. Let's see. I'm pulling this the wrong way. There we go. So as I'm
if you've never made a zipper bag before, you should know that this is not. It's a flat. For one thing, it's a flat bottom surface. It's not like a round bag. And for two, it's going to be on the inside of your bag. I mean, this is the lining and the back on the inside of the zipper bag. No one will see it, not even you. Yes. So if you do find the tape just, so annoying and you can't deal with it, just do like a whip stitch or ladder stitch or whatever you call it when you just kind of haphazardly join it together. Because the back and the front piece are stitched together with your machine. Like that was a step we already did. This is just to close it up at the bottom, but we're going to turn it. And so I like to say in my instructions, like if you do a crappy job at this step, no one's the wiser. It's a flat edge and it's on the inside. Even you won't see it. Your credit cards will see it. That's it.
Okay.
And if they don't mind, then I don't mind.
All right. So there is my closed in lining. All right. Now we're going to look at the side with your pocket fabric, and you should see the stabilizer. And you need to carefully rip the stabilizer out. And there's a note saying there are 2 places where the thread is stuck in the project, but only held by the stabilizer. These were the placement lines for your zipper. You can feel comfortable snipping them away from your project. You are not going to mess anything up. All right, so one thing you can do is either take your tweezers or your scissors and just make yourself a little hole, and then you can rip. So all of this is going to come away. And we could even do this so that we can get to here better. And usually tweezers are helpful for this part, but I have lost mine for the 50 millionth time. Okay, and now there's my. Okay, this is the bit where she was saying you're going to have some threads that are really only in the stabilizer, but they are connected to your bag in one spot. These you can snip.
Yeah, and you don't have to guess which ones they are. Like right there, there it is.
Yeah, it's
like
super obvious.
You're trying to pull, and at first you're like, "Oh my gosh, what is this? What am I about to destroy?"
Yeah. Nope, it's fine.
Yeah, if you've never made a zipper bag, that right there, that was the first step that she stitched. It's a placement to show you where to put the zipper. It is quite literally not holding anything together. It's not doing anything. It just needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because I've got 2 windows open.
Okay. I'm going to go in with my tweezers later and get all this stabilizer that's in between when I find my tweezers. Oh, there we go. I got some of it. These got these little bitty pieces. I just want to make sure I get anything that pokes down below the vinyl that can be seen by the front of the bag. That's my main concern. Okay. So once we have that, then we can manipulate the zipper open. Oh wait, but my zipper's taped down, so. There we go. Get that tape out. Now I can get my zipper to open. And now you can turn your bag, actually, right side out. And I can remove this tape that's holding my hardware. I should have remembered this last time. I think my Kimberbell tape is a little too sticky on the vinyl. Sometimes it'll leave a little residue. And I think I used an alcohol wipe to get the residue off the last time I did this. Okay, so something like this is your final project, but it just needs to be, I need to turn the corners a little bit better. I still got a little bit of stabilizer to remove. I think I even see the stitch, the extra blue stitch that was a placement line in the beginning. I need to remove. That's right down here. But y'all can see.
And we always press our zipper bags at various steps through the process when we're turning and whatnot. And friendly reminder, because it is not just something you think about usually when you're just in a hurry. Don't use a steam setting when you're pressing this bag, and don't put your iron on that clear vinyl. I know that sounds obvious. I told somebody that the other day and they said, well, duh. And I was like, look, you don't know. Just the other day, I was putting a kit together and I put the iron down on a piece of clear vinyl. And I was like, why did you just do that? Like, I don't know. You got to use a pressing cloth. I can't hear you anymore if you're talking. I don't know if you can hear me. It's my show now. There you go. Change the batteries.
I know when my microphone is gonna go out, so I just keep batteries right in front of me at all times.
There it is. Now you're back. I thought you were just being quiet, and I was like, should I talk or?
I don't even know.
I'll just take over. I'll just yap all day.
I don't even remember if I was talking. I was concentrating. But I got it. I turned it out. I think I got a little bit in here I need to go back and get after, but I love this one. This one came out. I like this one more than this one, I think, now.
I love that. I love that you use the print for that pocket lining.
Yeah. I think that's definitely
great.
my go-to move for making these is I like the fun fabric in the pocket. Yeah. Because, you know, if you put something smaller in here, I don't have anything in my craft room that is.
I don't have anything I can show on camera. I'm trying to think if I've got a gift card. I know I've got a little gift card.
Oh, here we go. I got some business cards. So like,
my favorite.
I got a business card for
Wizardry Stitchery. You need to like, if they have a YouTube, you need to like tag them in this video.
Yeah. Okay, so like I like that.
There's mine.
So like I put this in here. I could still see some of my pretty pattern. So of the fabric behind it, you know, like it's not super tight. So I like that I could see other things. So say that was my my license, and then I can put all this other stuff behind it. Maybe not that one. That one's big. And then I could close it up. Yay. I like it a lot. Super, super cute. I don't know if you heard the part where I said I find my Kimberbell tape is a little too sticky on this vinyl and it leaves a residue. So I'm going to use some alcohol wipe to get it off. I don't know if I said that when my mic was not working.
Yeah, that was the last thing we heard was that it's too sticky.
It's too sticky. Okay. So I had to do that with the other one too. Is I got an alcohol wipe and got the residue off.
Goo Gone is great for residue,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's also like greasy, so you shouldn't use
Yeah,
it. Like you should be really
acrylic
careful.
oil. I use
Yeah,
that
like
to,
I use it with a Q-tip maybe, but I
okay.
don't like just.
I use it to treat my easy frames, my Durkee hoops. So,
Yeah, it's great for that.
yeah.
Those picture frames that you get at the store that they insist on putting those stickers that will never come off.
Yes.
Goo Gone. It's called Goo Gone, and this
Mm-hmm.
stuff is amazing.
Yep. I like it. You came out cute. Super cute. All right. So I think
So cute.
that is it for today, guys. Where's my mouse? Okay. Hello again. And so, fun. So in case you came in late, this is a design from Melissa at Designs by Little B. She has it on her website, and she has kits available so that you can get everything you need to make this and the design with it and have it shipped to your house so you can make this fun project in case you don't have zippers and hardware and clear vinyl in your craft room already. But if you do have those things in your craft room already, then just go grab the design. And then y'all can refer back to this video will be on YouTube to watch whenever you want to go through the steps. And then, like she says, there is a very detailed PDF instructions. And don't be like me and actually read every word.
I'm very thorough.
I think something that's helpful too, like with printable instructions like this, because like for instance, I'm doing this with a quilt, machine embroidery quilt I'm making. I am writing notes in here on, different things about it. So if it's helpful for you, maybe go and write, in big letters somewhere, front of hoop, back of hoop, the step number of the actual design on the embroidery machine. Write yourself some little notes. So like that would probably be helpful for me. Since I assume too much, or I'm thinking I did this already. I got this. No, read the instructions, write yourself some little notes on it. And then you can refer back to this the next time that you make it, and it will go smoothly. So thank you so much for asking to do this, Melissa. It was really exciting when she called me and said, "Hey, you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yes, it'd be fun." So thanks so much for asking. I love all of your designs. I especially love this one. So thanks for sharing this with us. And I think that's it. So if y'all, she has all the things. She has her own YouTube channel. She has an awesome Facebook group, her website. I think you're also on Instagram and all the other places.
Yeah,
So
just Designs by Little B. Just
yeah,
search that, and I'm
so
all
just
over the place.
go check her out at
Literally.
all her spots. And then I'm sure we're going to see you again in the future because I usually do your designs for my Sip and Stitch every once in a while. So we'll see some more fun projects. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. I hope you had fun. And if you have any questions, if you're watching the replay and have any questions, just post them in the comments below the video. And then you can reach out to both of us on Melissa's website or on my website, carlybell.com, if you need anything. But that's it for today. So it was good to see you, Melissa.
You too. Thanks for doing this.
All right, everybody take care and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.